Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to WWE News Daily. We do this every single day and we do it to kind of do a roundup of the news. Today's News Daily is it's a bit late, I'm not going to lie, but I actually went out and got a haircut. I've got like a video that's ready to upload on the channel, so I've done quite a bit of work today, and so this just got delayed a little bit, but I thought it wouldn't matter if we started a little bit later than usual, kind of like a Friday night special. Yeah, we've got some interesting topics to go through, and then we might even have a little chat with the chat section at the very end. So let's start with the big story, shall we? Let's start with Sheamus, and rumours are circulating that Sheamus could be retiring, Sheamus could be stepping away. There's lots of reports coming out that Sheamus has actually been wrestling with some severe injuries, more severe than what he's been letting on and more severe than what we knew. I can tell you that it is being reported that the Sheamus injuries from Sean Sapp over at Fightful were actually enough of a concern that a lot of people within WWE didn't think he would get through WrestleMania. They're actually amazed that he was able to perform at such a high standard in the build towards WrestleMania and at the event itself. And then it's no surprise that since then we just haven't seen him. It was believed that he was out with concussion, but again, all these reports are coming through that it's actually more severe than that. I believe it to be neck related. We think it's neck injuries. So it looks like he's got these severe neck injuries. He's also dealing with that concussion. So it seems like a lot has hit Sheamus at the same time. So rumours now doing the rounds that this might be an injury too far for Sheamus, and that Sheamus could actually be on the verge of retiring. Gonna have to see how he responds if he decides to have that neck surgery, and obviously then if he does return, but certainly more severe than what has been reported up till this point. So quite interesting news. Certainly the big news story of the day, in my opinion, coming from Sean Sapp over at Fightful. And Fightful, a very trustworthy news outlet, so I do believe that that is true. Next up, we've got Lars Sullivan. A bit of an update on what we were talking about yesterday. So Lars Sullivan has sent out a lot of messages in the past. And he's been saying about how, like, Jeff Hardy doesn't really have any wrestling ability, and lots of other things, lots of things that have got, like, kind of racist tones to them, and it's, yeah, kind of a very difficult topic to talk about because I don't know what's true. I haven't seen the original messages myself. But Lars Sullivan has actually come out today. This is the reason that we're talking about it today, is because Lars Sullivan has come out today and actually said a bit of an apology, come out and said there is no excuse for the inappropriate remarks that I made years ago. They do not reflect my personal beliefs nor who I am today, and I apologize to anyone that I offended. The words there of Lars Sullivan. I can tell you that someone actually got in touch with Bray Wyatt and said, we think that Lars should come and attack you at the Firefly Funhouse. Bray Wyatt responded by saying that that was not a good idea. It's a hard place to find, and you can check out any time, but you can never leave. That is a quote from the Eagles Hotel California. So Bray Wyatt responding there to that fans interaction. And then a little bit more seriously, Kalisto actually sent a tweet out, a fan getting in touch with Kalisto asking for his opinions on the last situation. Kalisto says he needs to get out of my way, I'm Latino. So read into that whatever you want. So an apology from Lars today, and a little bit more interaction from WWE Superstars. This really is a story that's not going away. Obviously, we heard from Big E the other day as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on this one, because if it continues to snowball, then WWE may be forced to take some kind of action, so we'll have to see. The third thing that I've got on the agenda to talk about, the UK meet and greets. Obviously, WWE are in the UK at the moment. They've already done the Belfast date, I believe. And there's already been a meet and greet with Kofi at one of the Smith stores. I just wanted to go through some of the UK meet and greets for people. I know a lot of people that watch the channel are obviously based in the United Kingdom, so they may want to go along to some of these. So on Saturday, so tomorrow, Ricochet will be at Fenwick Newcastle department store. That's at 4 p.m. Samoa Joe will be at Smith's in Bournemouth on Monday the 13th at 4 p.m. Cesaro will be at Smith's on Tuesday in Charlton. That's really not far from the O2 Arena. That is at 11 a.m. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are in Birmingham at the Entertainer. That is Wednesday the 15th at 4 p.m. And Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, they will be at Hamleys in Cardiff on Friday the 17th at 4 p.m. So I believe there's 5 more meet and greets to come. And the kind of other news is the Cesaro meet and greet on Tuesday the 14th at Smith's at Charlton, London. That is the one that is very close to the O2 Arena. I will be there. I am in attendance at that meet and greet. So if you manage to get a wristband, then you will see me as well. I will be chatting to people that are waiting in the queue. And maybe I might get an opportunity to speak to the Swiss Superman himself, Cesaro. Obviously, I might even put it to him and ask him directly, as he heard the latest in regards to his former tag partner, Sheamus. Maybe we could find out a little bit more from Cesaro as to what the situation is there. Just before we jump over to those of you in the chat and just answer any questions that might be floating around, I can tell you that Becky Lynch and Daniel Bryan actually met up with Conor McGregor's trainer. There's actual footage on social media, WWE social media, of them being trained by Conor McGregor's trainer, which I thought was very interesting. Clearly, there's some sort of relationship there. Of course, when Becky became the champ, then Conor actually sent a message out showing his support for Becky. That would be very, very cool if one day Conor McGregor could somehow get involved with WWE. So not only have we seen messages from Conor now, but also WWE Superstars are training with his trainer. So yeah, very, very cool. So, as we said, it's a little bit special because it is Friday, and it is later on Friday as well. So, hello to everyone that's in the chat that's joining us. I can see Praneel is here, Talentube. I can see we've got Gamer BTW YT06. That's a hell of a name. Yes, we've Conor versus Brock. Maybe, not one day. That would be a great match if they could make it happen. Sheamus, future Hall of Fame? That is such a great question from BJK13. I think he would go into the Hall of Fame. If you think about what Sheamus has achieved, you know, he is a former world champion, multiple-time tag team champion, former, I believe he won King of the Ring, didn't he? I'm sure he had the King gimmick. Royal Rumble as well, I think he picked up. So yeah, he's achieved a lot, you know. If you actually sit down and go through everything that Sheamus has achieved, it's very impressive. I think he would go in just for what he achieved in the bar. Like, I think Cesaro will be a future Hall of Famer, because I think he's had quite a long career. He's had a decent length career. He's not just been in it for a year or two. He's been in it for a decent amount of time, and he's won multiple championships as well. Plus, was Cesaro the first winner of the Andre Battle Royal. I feel like he was. So, you know, again, someone else that you might not realize just how much they've managed to achieve. So yeah, I could see them going in. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll put Sheamus in twice. Maybe Sheamus will go in for what he achieved on his own as a solo star. I mean, you gotta remember, he's a former world champion. That really means you managed to reach the pinnacle. So you've got to be in consideration just for that. And didn't he win? Did he win Money in the Bank as well? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm sure he won Money in the Bank as well. So he could go in as a single star. And then who's to say the Bar don't go in? The Bar are actually a tag team that have been around for 3 years. Like, I think we all remember that series of 7 matches. The best of 7, and who was going to emerge victorious. It was put together by Mick Foley. Was it going to be Sheamus? Was it going to be Cesaro? Who was going to emerge victorious? It turned out to be a draw, and as a result, they formed the Bar, and they have had a very good run. They have had a very good run. It's like 4, 5-time tag team champions. So very impressive stuff over the space of 3 years. So yeah, maybe Sheamus could find himself going in twice, which would be a real achievement. Real achievement. Yes, he cashed in on Roman. I thought so. I should have remembered that because we only did a video on Money in the Bank the other day. So I think that's why it was rattling around my mind. Will Kofi ever fight Roman as champion? Hard to say because that would be like 2 faces squaring off against each other. I don't think Roman's ever going to turn heel. I'm not sure about Kofi. I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised if Kofi turned heel. That might be an interesting direction to take Kofi, though. You know, he's already reached the mountaintop as a babyface. Maybe turn him heel? Maybe a heel Kofi Kingston against a face Roman Reigns? I can't see both of them being faces going against each other. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I still feel like the best opponent for Kofi would be Big E. I really want Big E to come back. No news on how long he's out for, though. That's the only problem. So, hard to know how long he's going to be on the shelf for. But I think when he comes back, I think it would be the right time. I think they've achieved everything they could achieve with the New Day. They could continue, and they would still continue to be relevant. But I feel like they've got a massive single star in Big E. And now that Kofi's got the title, it really does feel like the right time. So maybe not Kofi Roman, or you could certainly do it as a throwaway match on SmackDown or something along those lines. I'm more interested in Kofi versus Big E, but as we said, no idea when that's going to be. Heel Kingston, yeah, as we just said, maybe could go that way. Who's your favourite wrestler? That's from EWE Extreme Wrestling Entertainment. Personally, right now, Bray Wyatt. I absolutely love those promos, and I cannot wait to see what the Firefly Funhouse is going to actually give us when he starts wrestling. Like, are we going to see the puppets? What's the entrance going to be like? What's his ring attire going to be like now? Is Hurt and Heel going to play a part in the matches? I've been keeping a very close eye on those promos, as lots of you know. And the reason for that is because I'm just so intrigued as to what it's going to mean for when Bray starts competing. Plus, I also feel like there's lots of Easter eggs in there. Not literal Easter eggs, but hidden messages. And we've certainly decoded quite a lot of them. If you've not seen the videos we've been doing on Bray Wyatt, then check them out. There's even a action figure playset that we made of the Firefly Funhouse that you can find on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe because there is loads of good stuff on the channel and a big action figure video that will go on the channel tonight as well. As we said, that's why we were just that little bit later starting than usual. Last question then. LJH Wrestling. Who do you think is the most likely to win Money in the Bank? honestly, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. It's really, I think the women's one is hard to call. I would love to see someone like Ember Moon carry it, but honestly, the rumors are that if Sasha shows that she wants to stay with WWE, maybe re-signs a new contract, something along those lines, then they will put her in the Money in the Bank instead of Dana. If that happens, I think she would be heavy favourite. Heavy favourite. You know, she has been in that tag team, the Boss and Hug connection. She's clearly unhappy. I think they could guarantee her a Money in the Bank victory and a title run as well. She could then cash in on Becky and take one of the titles away. I'm not sure when, though. They've kind of said, a lot of the reports are saying that they've been a bit dissatisfied with recent cash-ins. Kind of felt like they've not built them up enough. And I would definitely agree with that. If you think about some of the fantastic cash-ins we had, like Dolph Ziggler, he cashed in after 200 and something odd days. And then same with Seth. He won it and then waited all the way till the next WrestleMania and then cashed in at that WrestleMania. So we've had a lot of cash-ins that have happened quite quickly, on the same show. I think Alexa Bliss did that on the same night that she won it. Braun Strowman, he actually announced that he wanted a match at a pay-per-view and just handed his briefcase over. It was a bit flat, so I think they are definitely going to look at making this year's Money in the Bank a little bit more enjoyable. I really think that when it comes to the women, Sasha would be right up there if she's in the match. If not, maybe Bayley. Maybe they'll reward Bayley. So obviously she's just broken apart from Sasha, and the Boss and Hug connection have gone separate ways. So maybe they'll give it Bayley. I would like to see it go to Ember Moon. But yeah, I could see a lot of deserving people there. When it comes to the men, I really feel like it's going to be Drew McIntyre. They've been all on board with Drew McIntyre. Some things have worked, some things haven't. But Drew, with a Money in the Bank briefcase, is a pretty terrifying prospect. So they might really go all in on him now and give him that briefcase. So I feel like Drew would have to be the favourite. It's not the person that I want. I would love to see Andrade. I actually, off the top of my head, can't even remember if Andrade is in it. We've done so much speculating as to who is in the match compared to then who was actually announced for the match that I can't remember exactly everyone that's in it. But personally, my gut was I wanted Andrade to win. I feel like Ali might be in it, so I think he would be a very interesting choice as well. I would love to see, very much a sports team that's struggling, a bit like, say, Manchester United at the moment, for those of you that follow soccer. They are expected to put out a few of the youth players this weekend because they haven't really got anything to play for. It's been a very poor season for them. And so now they're looking to their youth, they're looking to their kids, they're looking to their academy to see if there's any stars there that can help them in the future. I kind of feel like WWE could do the same. Let's really get behind Ember Moon. Let's really get behind the likes of Ali, Buddy Murphy that's just come up as well. You know, you've got Ricochet and Aleister Black. And I know they're not young guys, but they're brand new, really, in a sense, to the main roster. And you really could build something around this talent. There's talent everywhere. There is talent everywhere. They've never had a roster this good. It's just about maximizing it. A lot of people say that WWE really struggling at the moment, and that is reflected in the ratings. But I do feel like this is just a couple of quick fixes. It's not as if they need to go out and find all of this great talent. They have the great talent. The great talent is there. That's arguably the hardest part. They've got all these different types of wrestlers as well. They've got the high flyers like Ricochet, like Ali. They've got the hard hitters like Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. They've got great women's division. They've got great tag division. They've got stars everywhere. So it's just about getting the right creative. It's just about those little tweaks that can make an average show into a great show. And it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, but we've seen with NXT that it is possible. So watch this space. Awesome, guys. That's it for this bumper Friday night special. Thank you for the questions. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy this stream, because it makes a massive difference. And as we said, we will be uploading a great WWE action figure video in about an hour's time onto the channel. So have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.